golden wildfire. To war. It is the end of 1181. 2 years have passed since the Officers' Academy closed its doors. Claude has inherited the leadership of Leicester and toils to unite the nobles in the region. With Edelgard ruling as Emperor of Adrestia and Dimitri sitting on the throne in Fargus, the three former schoolmates are striking out as the next generation of leaders. A new era is dawning in Fodlan, and much teeters at the brink of great change. Edelgard declares war against the Central Church, causing the first tremor of a major upheaval.
Hey, thanks for coming. Sorry to make you wait. I couldn't get out of there any sooner.
You're looking kind of worse for the wear. Is running the Alliance really that rough?
Yeah, well, you know what they say. What doesn't kill you, but enough about me. How are things with you? Mercenary work keeping you busy?
Hardly. I came to Regan territory expecting steady work from your house, you know. But it still hasn't materialized. How's a merc supposed to make a living like this? It doesn't matter how much I train my sword arm if there's nothing to swing at.
Right. Sorry about that. I had a feeling your talents were going to waste here.
Oh, he had a feeling, did he? Where were those feelings while we were left high and dry for these last 2 years?
I've been getting by guarding the local inns and all, but I'm at the end of my rope here. You mind if I move on? I hear there's plenty of work in the south for someone like me.
Whoa, slow down there, friend. Why do you think I asked you here? I'm ready to make you an official offer.
And there it is, just as I expected.
So war's coming then.
That's right. The new Emperor of Adrestia seems determined to bring a fight to the rest of Fodlan. And many along our southern border are worried she'll come after the Alliance. Hence, all these meetings to plan our response. Are you familiar with the Leicester Round Table?
Not much. Just that it's a council held by some stuffy Alliance nobles.
That's basically it. The Alliance crowns no king and bows to no emperor. So instead, we just have a bunch of meetings when we want to get something done. Every last detail of Alliance policy and strategy has to be worked out and agreed upon by the 5 great lords at the Round Table conferences. Day after day, we go round and round, arguing and bickering over this or that. And as each of the lords only truly cares about their own skin, we never actually reach a decision on anything.
No wonder you look like you've been put through the ringer. Guess being a noble's not all fun and games.
You could say that again. And while we sit around twiddling our collective thumbs, the Empire and their army could be right on our doorstep. Nevertheless, I'll find a way to convince the other lords that they need to commit to deploying their troops. The real problem is what happens after. Armies need commanders, and those commanders need to be exceptional warriors that we can rely on.
You're not gonna ask me to lead Alliance troops, are you?
You, my friend, hit the nail on the head. I want you fighting alongside me as one of the Alliance's commanders.
Hold on, I'm not a noble, though. I'm not even a knight.
Who cares about titles? Isn't this why you came here in the first place?
I came here to help you as a mercenary. I never thought I'd be commanding troops.
Look, you'll be well compensated for your efforts. And you can do this. I know you can. What do you say?
Hey, if there's money to be made swinging my sword around, I'm there. My coin purse will be happy about it, too. Plus, it's not like I have anything better to do.
I knew you wouldn't let me down. I have high hopes for you, my friend. Now then, looks like I've got a contract to draw up.
Look who's here! It's been forever! Did you do something with your hair?
Nah, probably just lost some weight since you last saw me.
You must not be eating enough. Those arms are like chicken bones.
I imagine you've been doing a lot of mercenary work. You probably haven't had time for proper meals, what with the way things have been going.
Time's not the issue here. Money is. And it's been really quiet in the Alliance, despite what's been going on elsewhere. The last 2 years have been hard on us mercenaries. It's not easy to land jobs when there's nobody to fight.
Sounds like that's all gonna change at least. So, what are you all doing here?
At the last roundtable conference, each of the 5 great lords agreed to contribute soldiers and officers to the Alliance army. That's why I'm here. I'm guessing it's the same for you, Marianne? Yes. My adoptive father sent me.
I'm in the same boat. Count Gloucester arranged my transfer.
Oh, that's right. You're doing the whole night thing for Lawrence's father now.
Raphael, didn't I hear your family started an inn? What are you doing here?
Claude sent me a letter asking me to come, and there was no way I'd miss this.
Same here. I guess Claude wanted to get all the golden deer back together, huh?
That pretty much sums it up. There's no way I'm getting through this war without friends I trust by my side.
And there's Claude. Now our little reunion's complete.
Well, we are missing Lawrence.
Yeah, Count Gloucester sent one of his newest knights in Lawrence's place.
Yes. I suppose I should apologize for that.
I have no doubt Lawrence has his hands full protecting the border right about now.
And I'm guessing you're not exactly thrilled to see me instead of my brother.
For the time being, I've asked Holst to see to our defenses in case Elmira decides to take another run at our borders. Besides, I'm not about to let the Empire see our best card on the first play. It's always been my plan to have you all here, and I'm sure we'll be reunited with Lawrence before long. After all, we'll be passing through Gloucester territory very shortly.
The Aramid River serves as the border between the Alliance and Empire. I imagine we'll want to fortify its banks and close off the Great Bridge of Murden. That is the plan. Yes, Claude?
That's right. There are many large bridges spanning the Aramid, but the terrain on the eastern bank is less than ideal. The Great Bridge of Murden is the only one suitable for crossing into the Alliance with a significant military force. So if the Empire is looking to attack us, blockading the Great Bridge will severely limit their options. Of course, that means the enemy will do everything in their power to take control of it. So, while I'm happy to see you all again, I'm afraid we don't have time to reminisce.
He's right. We need to get ready to move out. Hey, Claude. Looks like you had another one of those meetings. You finally finished?
For today, yeah. But we're picking up right where we left off tomorrow.
Ugh, that's a lot of talking. What could possibly call for that much discussion?
Well, first, we need to settle on a direction for the Alliance. And then come all the pesky little details. All responsibilities need to be doled out fairly, but each territory has different resources and different circumstances, you know? So it's tricky to figure out what's really fair. There's no one answer that works across the board.
But you're their leader. Can't you just make a bunch of decisions and get it over with?
No can do, I'm afraid. I may be the leader, but I'm still just one of the 5 great lords. Sure, I may be the idea man, but I don't have the authority to enforce anything on my own. On top of all that, most nobles are experts at focusing on what's good for their own territory instead of what would benefit the Alliance as a whole. When priorities clash, the debates just go around and around in endless circles. Makes me wonder if we'll ever reach a consensus on anything.
Hold on. Do you really think you'll win the war like this? You'll always be on the defensive if you can't act decisively.
I hear you, believe me. The process works much better in times of peace. But since we're at war, it's frustrating to say the least. What's worse is that it's near impossible to get a read on the situation. I don't have the foggiest idea how we're going to overcome this. Say, mind if I pick your brain? What would you do in my shoes?
What, me? Well, I guess I'd... You gotta just give him a nice whoosh. Deal with him that way.
Uh-huh. Whoosh. You care to spell that one out for me?
What I'm saying is, why not just get rid of all the talking?
You mean get rid of the Alliance's council altogether?
Exactly. If you give yourself more authority, then it won't take as long to make decisions. It doesn't even have to be permanent. You could go back to the old way once things are peaceful again. But I guess that wouldn't go over too well with the other nobles, huh?
Actually, I think you're onto something. Can't say it hasn't crossed my mind before. If folks at the Round Table just keep looking out for their own territory's interests, we'll be in a world of hurt if the Alliance is ever invaded. I just wish they could see that.
Whoa, are you seriously considering it, Claude?
Of course. Unfortunately, the possibility of it actually happening right now is basically zero. But you've given me a lot to chew on. Let's do this again sometime.
Just say the word. Whew, glad that's finally over.
Oh, hey! Nice job out there.
You too, Hilda. Good to see you back safe and sound. That was one close fight, huh?
You think so? I didn't even break a sweat.
Really? Well, I guess we did have the upper hand for most of it.
We sure did. And yet you still charged headfirst into the most contested part of the battlefield. You know, that's why you end up feeling like every battle is some huge ordeal. It's so unnecessary.
Whoa, hey now. Unnecessary? That's a little harsh. Someone has to get in there and turn the battle in our favor, even if it's dangerous.
I know, but why do you always have to be that someone? Living fast and loose is only gonna land you in an early grave.
Well, it's not like I'm trying to live like anything. This is just how mercenaries are. You can't distinguish yourself by hanging around in the back, and if you don't stand out, you don't get paid. People notice you if you do something showy on the front lines, and that can bring in the next job, you know?
You're basically commanding an entire army now? What does recognition matter at this point?
You're probably right. I guess I've just gotten so used to fighting like that, it's hard to change. Aren't there a bunch of mercenaries in Goneril territory? Pretty sure I've heard of a merc company stationed at the throat.
Yeah, we use mercenaries a lot when we're beating back the Almiran army.
Then I'm sure they're the same as me. Haven't you seen them going all hog wild, competing with each other up at the front?
I've never really fought with them, but I can imagine that they're way different from regular knights. My brother is always going on about how some guy from some mercenary company or other died fighting at his side.
No surprise there. The more a merc makes a show of themselves, the easier it is for the enemy to spot them.
Right? And that's exactly why I'm worried about you. You don't have to stress about grabbing attention and getting paid anymore. So just take it easy, okay? We don't want you dying before your time.
Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. It's not like I have a death wish or something. I can't really change my fighting style overnight, but I'll try to keep the recklessness to a minimum. Don't worry. You know, I've never seen a noble worry so much about a mercenary. You just sit back and enjoy the show, all right?
Enjoy the show? Yeah, that sort of talk is so not making me feel any better. Ha! Yeah! Ha!
Phew, what a workout. Oh, hey, are you here to train too?
Nah, just grabbing something I forgot earlier. Is this normal training time for you, Leonie?
Well, yeah. We've been so busy lately, I've had to squeeze it in whenever I can.
Huh. You work hard for a mercenary.
I'm just starting out in my career, so I can't afford to slack off now. I only started training as a merc after the Officers' Academy closed, remember? Meanwhile, you were one before you even came to the Academy. You've got years of experience on me.
Still, you're skilled and you've got brains, which means you're more promising than the average rookie.
I hope you're right. I have to distinguish myself at some point, or else I won't be able to face the captain.
You have a captain?
Yep. He visited my village when I was a kid, and I practically begged him to make me his apprentice. I was probably a huge nuisance, but I was so desperate to get out of my village and be independent. Gerald treated me like an annoying little brat at first, but eventually, he taught me for real. He showed me everything. Tricks of the trade, standard training routines, basic strategy. Don't you have a mentor? Someone who showed you the ropes?
A mentor? I do have a mentor, in a sense. You know, someone who occasionally gives me advice and stuff.
That sounds sort of vague, but I guess there can be all kinds of mentors. Either way, you still have loads more experience than me. I need to work hard so I can catch up with you.
Well, if you ever want help from an old pro, just say the word.
Thanks. I'm glad to have a role model I can count on.
As I told you before, I do not have a crest.
Why do you insist on hiding it? It can only mean your crest is somehow...
Please stop!
What's going on here?
Lysithea!
What were you saying about crests? Go on. I study them every day without fail, so this is extremely relevant to my interests. I do hope you have proof of your theory, though. Spewing out unfounded platitudes will just lead to consequences you definitely don't want. I might not look it, but I'm a general in this army.
Ah, well. We were just finishing our conversation. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you, Lysithea.
Think nothing of it. I stepped in of my own accord. You appear to hold a secret or two regarding crests.
Well...
No need to answer. We all have things we prefer to keep hidden. Still, your situation hits rather close to home for me. Perhaps too close.
What?
So if you ever need assistance, don't hesitate to ask. We secret keepers need to hold strong with each other after all. Oh, and I'm not saying this because I pity you. But you clearly find your secret painful. In light of this, maybe I've been a bit too harsh on you in the past.
Oh no, you haven't been harsh at all. I'm merely envious of how strong and level-headed you always appear to be. I never would have guessed you hold a closely guarded secret just as I do.
I'm not gonna tell you, if that's what you're after.
Yes, I suspected as much. Still, perhaps you would be willing to hear mine one day? I feel like being around you gives me the courage to finally set it free.
I would be happy to hear you out, and also to help rectify the situation if possible. I know quite a bit about Crest's scholarship. That fool talking to you earlier couldn't hold a candle to me.
Thank you, Lysithea. I already feel a little bit braver.
I'm offering you the full might of my assistance. I hope you can do better than a little.
I mean a lot. I know I'm going to feel a lot braver.
Hey there, Ignots!
Oh, Raphael!
I've been looking all over for you. Got a minute to chat?
Of course. With all the battles lately, we've barely had any time to sit down and rest.
Right? It feels like I don't even see you anymore. And I definitely don't have enough time to show off my muscles.
Glad to see you haven't changed at all these past 2 years. The Officers' Academy shut down so suddenly. I scarcely would have imagined we'd all end up back together as part of an army.
Same here. Oh, and I could hardly believe my ears when I found out you signed up to be a knight over with Lawrence.
To be honest, I had nowhere else to turn. I owe a great debt to him and his generosity.
Gotcha. He's not such a bad guy, that Lawrence.
I agree. Tell me, Raphael, how have you been holding up these past 2 years? I hear your family opened an inn.
Oh yeah, me, my grandpa, and Maya. Business is going pretty great if you ask me.
That's wonderful. And how is Maya?
She's as sunny as always. That reminds me, she was pretty worried about you. I better write her a letter and tell her you're okay. I'm sure she wants to see you. Bet you're feeling the same way, huh?
Of course, I'd love to come and... That is, I should write her a letter.
What's wrong?
Life never works out the way you want, does it?
Huh?
Oh, it's nothing. Just thinking back to my childhood. Back then, I felt like I had the power to do whatever I wanted.
What do you mean? I still feel like that now.
You do?
Sure. I know I joined the Officers' Academy to be a knight, but that option's off the table. But look at me now. I might not be a knight, but I'm fighting in a war as if I was. All you've got to do is put your mind to it, and you can do anything you want. Trust me.
Yes, I think you're right. Thanks, Raphael.
2 years ago, I never would have imagined we'd be fighting a war like this.
I'm with you there, but it's actually quite the lucky break for you.
How do you mean?
When a war breaks out, every mercenary in the land starts crawling out of the woodwork. And with all your associates here, you should have a large enough force to take on you-know-who.
They're not just associates. They didn't have to trust a down-and-out mercenary like me, but they did anyway. And that makes them friends. Still, you're probably right. This'll be a great chance to drive Geralt's mercenaries out into the open.
And then you can give them their just desserts or die trying.
Could have done without that last part, thanks.
Relax. You know I'm on your side. Our destinies are forever intertwined.
Do we have an understanding then?
I understand your request, but I make no promises to honor it at this time. Pardon my candor, but you have yet to earn my confidence. I shall observe how this war progresses and then make the decision myself. Now, good day to you.
Oh, Father.
The current Alliance leader and I have finished our discussion. I will be taking my leave now.
Everything okay, Claude? That seemed tense.
On the contrary, our conversation couldn't have been more pleasant. Count Gloucester is always a delight.
If that was meant to be a joke, you will note that I am not laughing.
Lawrence, it's been far too long. I'm glad to see you're safe and well.
Yes, well, I doubt I will be either of those things for much longer. The Imperial Army has begun its march northward. Incidentally, what were you discussing with my father?
Oh, you know, just what the Lords should do in the unlikely event that the Imperial Army crosses into Alliance territory.
And how did my father respond?
With a whole lot of words, but not a lot of clarity.
Hardly surprising. My father does not even share his innermost thoughts with me, and I am his heir.
Lawrence, let me ask you something. Would you go along with his decisions no matter what?
What exactly do you mean?
Say, for example, if your father pledged his allegiance to the Empire, would you follow suit?
Do you think Count Gloucester's going to betray us, Claude?
Of course not. It's just a hypothetical.
Well then, that's a serious what if. Almost sounds like you're trying to provoke Lawrence.
No, it is quite all right. In fact, it is a perfectly reasonable query, given my father's actions as of late. However, my father takes tremendous pride in being one of the 5 great lords of the Alliance. He would not betray us to the Empire lightly. I, for one, still have faith in him.
I won't deny that your father is a great man, Lawrence. I just wish he regarded me with anywhere near the same level of esteem.